there, my sassy fit queens and kings. How y'all doing today? So today is another segment of Sassy Fitness Empowerment Fridays, where I provide you with detailed tips and tricks that can help guide you along your lifestyle journey every single day. Now today, we asked a few questions, or I did a poll on social media and had people ask me questions that are like burning inside of them that they want to know about me. And I'm going to take this time to answer those. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Y'all going to learn a little bit about me.
All right, so the first question is, are you a morning person or a night owl?
I'm definitely a morning person. Like, I go to bed early. I have to be in the bed at 9:30 because I get up early. I feel more productive when I get up early. Like, if I get up late, it's like I don't feel like I can accomplish anything. So I get up early, get my workout in, and it gives me energy for the day. So definitely a morning person.
Do you have a catchphrase?
Yeah, you did that doggone thing. That's like my way to motivate. And I get excited. Like, I'm really passionate about, exercise and nutrition and helping people live healthier lives. So when I see people getting it in and putting in work, you did that doggone thing. With who? TeamSassyFitness.
How old are you?
I'm 37. I just look like this.
How many kids do you have?
I got 2. I have like 4 stepdaughters, but 2 of my own, 2 boys. My oldest will be 17 next month, and my youngest is 11.
What are your hobbies?
Working out. I love to sing. I like roller skating. And I love dancing. Like, you turn on some music, it's Twerk City.
What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Tell us something about you.
Well, I used to be extremely shy and not want to talk to people. I'm still not a fan of crowds. And for some odd reason, people think I'm so much fun, and I'm really not that fun. I'm just goofy. But I love to be happy because I've been through a lot, in my younger years, and I've overcome a lot. So I worked really hard to get my mental health in check, and fitness was a huge part of that. So I love fitness. I'm very passionate about it. And yeah, I'm naturally a reserved person. Like, when I'm not working and I'm not, doing fitness classes, I'm pretty chill, pretty laid back.
Okay, and what's something that makes you happy?
People being happy. Like, I like everybody to be happy and to be nice because it's so easy to do. I feel like it's too much work to be nasty and look down on someone else and everything like that. So what makes me happy and makes my heart smile is other people being happy.
Okay, and then who's your favorite musician?
Musician? That's a good one. I don't know. But I do like Kenny G, and I like Sade, even though she sings, but I do like Kenny. Oh, Alicia Keys. Yeah, she plays the keys so well. So yeah, those are my favorite musicians.
Okay. And what is the last thing that made you cry?
The last thing that made me cry. That's a good one. Well, I'll tell you what, because, growing up, crying was like forbidden. It was a sign of weakness, which is so not true. So oftentimes I find myself trying not to cry, but one thing that I can't help is like when I go to church and I think about how much God has blessed me and how much He's allowed me to overcome, things that I've been through, and, given me the skill and the love for what I do and help me find my passion. Like, I really and truly feel blessed. So if there is any inspirational song or something like that we sing, because I sing on the praise team at church, and it just pricks my heart and it just brings a lot of emotion. So I would say the last time I cried was like maybe a couple Sundays ago, because the song we were singing about is like how much God has blessed us and brought us through tough times.
Have you always been in shape and loved the gym?
Well, yes and no. And the reason I say yes and no is because in high school I was an athlete. I played almost every sport. I played basketball, volleyball, and I ran track. And so I've always been athletic. I love working out as far as sports were concerned. But then, you know, after high school, you're not as into working out or whatever as you were in school because it was regimented and everything like that. But after I had my first son, I used to love playing basketball. I would go play street ball, go to the gym, play basketball. That was my thing, playing basketball. After I had my son, I got back into it, and I played basketball a lot. And I loved how it made me feel. I loved how it made me look. And then after I had my second child, and I had a C-section. So that was a lot of work trying to lose that weight. And I didn't like how I looked, being as big as I was while I was pregnant. It's not that I ate so much while I was pregnant, but I had preeclampsia, and it made me retain water really bad. So I was really swollen, and I was under a lot of stress. So I really didn't like how I looked, and I told myself that this was not finna stay on me. And I've always been a hard worker. So if I want something, I'm gonna work for it. I'm not just gonna say I want it and then sit there and expect somebody to snap their finger and it happens. So I put the work in, and because I had my share of, you know, depression and things like that, I found that running was my outlet, you know, exercise. So with that, I was able to develop that love for it because it made me feel better. And so the yes part is that I've always been athletic. I've always, you know, I played sports in high school. The no part is, you know, after high school, I didn't work out at all. I've always been a small eater, so maybe that attributed to me being small, but that doesn't mean I was healthy because I ate whatever I wanted to, which is not good. But after I had my first son, I got back into working out, and I took it serious. And then I started to learn the science behind working out, because I've always really been fascinated with the body and how it works with food, the reproductive system. Like, I've always been fascinated with that. And believe it or not, I went to school to be a nurse at one point, and I was a straight A student. And baby, when we got to the point where we had to like give each other needles, no ma'am, I don't want a doctor poking me. I'm not gonna let my fellow students poke me. And then I realized how squeamish I was. I was like, I think I can help people in a better way, and this is it. So I hope that answers your question.
How hard is it for you to go to work, prep for a competition, like money-wise, mentally, and physically?
It's very hard. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes way more than motivation to do what I do, because you can be motivated to do something, and for me, motivation is just having the desire to do something, getting excited about doing something. But to have the discipline to actually do it, that's a whole other beast. It's so many people that want to do what I do, but they don't have the discipline to do what I do. So it's extremely hard. You have to be organized. You have to be structured with how you run your day. And with me having kids that are in school, I mean, I started competing when my kids were small, and I was a single mother. You know, I've been a single mom for a long time. And now, thank God, I'm not a single mom anymore, but I was a single mom for a long time. And I did everything by myself, so I carried my boys with me everywhere I went. But I feel like this: if you truly want something, it doesn't matter what your plate has on it, you're going to figure out how to organize that plate and make it work. And that's what I did. You have to be good with budgeting money, because the sport can be expensive depending on how far you want to go in it. But there are cost-effective ways to do it. So you have to be smart about that as well. You don't have to drop $1,000 on everything that you get to be a part of the bodybuilding sport. There are definitely cost-effective ways to make it happen. And as far as the tiring, oh my gosh, it is tiring. Like, I get up at 6, at the latest 6 in the morning. There are days I get up earlier, like 4:30 or 5, but at the latest I'm up at 6 a.m. And sometimes I don't get back home until 8 p.m. because I'm gonna make sure I'm home in time to get in bed. But, you know, that's a long day because I start my day out, I train for myself, work out, and then I come home, get my breakfast, shower, and then I'm off to work. And I make my own schedule, so that makes it a bit easier, but it's still a lot. Like I said, I wasn't always a full-time entrepreneur. There was a point in time when I was doing this, working for someone. So, yeah, it is hard. But again, it takes discipline, not motivation.
How long did it take you to maintain consistency?
I would say it took 12 months because, believe it or not, like a lot of clients that I have, you don't believe that you can do it, especially if it's something that you've never done before. And after I had my oldest son, I really only had time once a week to do something for myself. And that's when I used to go roller skating every Sunday night. That was my thing to do for my fitness. That's the only time I had. He was a baby, and then it was hard to find a babysitter. But once I found a baby, I was like, listen, this is all I have. I was in college at the time. I was a new divorcee, and I was raising my son by myself. And I wanted to stay in shape. I wanted to, you know, not be overweight. So that was my thing to do then. And then I went from that to, okay, when I was in the military, got deployed, I had gotten so accustomed to the fitness regimen because there's really nothing to do over there except work, sleep, work out, find, you know, a way to keep your mind sane. And working out was the way to keep my mind sane, and running. So when I came back home, I was like, okay, when I drop the boys to school and daycare, I'm going to go running. And I used to do it 3 days a week. You know, I would drop them off, and then I would, like, sometimes I would drop them off, park the car, and run home and run back. Like, that's what I did. And when I decided that I wanted to compete, and someone told me, they asked me how many days a week do I work out, and I was like, I work out 3 days a week. I maybe lift weights one day and do cardio the other days. I wasn't really educated at that time. And when they told me I had to, like, train 5 days a week, I was like, huh? How in the world am I going to do that? And so I just sat there and I was like, you know what? I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to figure it out. And then I had this bright idea, because at the time I used to just bring them with me in the evening time and take them to daycare, and I only had a limited amount of time to work out after work. So I had a bright idea, girl, just get up early. Get up early, and then you can get those other days in. And that's what I did. So it took me about a year to really get my mind wrapped around the fact that this is what I needed to do. You know, it's trial and error, and that's what it was for me. And once I mastered it, I stuck with it because I saw it worked. And then here I am today.
If you could give yourself from 15 years ago advice, what would it be?
15 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see, how old would I have been 15 years ago? Ooh, at 22. So what I would have, the advice I would have given myself at the age of 22 versus now was to finish school before I got married instead of doing it all at the same time, because I was in college when I got married. Wait and live your life before having kids, because I didn't do that. I had my son when I was 20. And follow your dreams no matter what. Don't let nobody discourage you, because I had a lot of discouragement, and sometimes you start to believe that foolishness.
Okay, what's your greatest achievement?
My greatest achievement, I would say my greatest achievement was freedom. Last year I published a book about my life called Restoring Her Temple, Reclaiming Her Name, How Brokenness Turned to Glory. And you can actually purchase it on Amazon. Just type in Restoring Her Temple. It'll come up with it's a purple cover with a butterfly. Finding my freedom was my biggest accomplishment, because ever since I let go of the baggage that was holding me back, I have been able to flourish, and God has been blessing me tremendously. I am a firm believer in the law of attraction. You attract what you want to attract, hands down. If you tell yourself, I can't get a good man, I don't know what it is, I can't get a good man, I keep doing this, you need to evaluate yourself, because you attract what you want to attract. You things come to you that you say. A lot of times we focus so much on what we don't want to happen in our lives and what we're fearful of that we end up drawing that stuff to us. And for me, all I focus on now is the positivity. It is so easy to just focus on the negative. But for me, I like to be happy, number one. And I try not to sweat the small stuff. And I'm a perfectionist, so that's not easy to do all the time. But as long as I have respect and people respect my boundaries, I'm cool. Because it's so many people in life that have it so much harder than I have ever had it. It's so many people can't even walk. Some people didn't even wake up this morning. And the fact that I'm awake and I'm thriving and I'm breathing and I have let go of what has hurt me in the past so that I can move forward and accept all of my blessings. There I go. Because I was blocking my blessings because I was fearful of something that happened in my past happening again. And if you live your life in fear, all you're going to do is block your blessings and keep yourself from growing. And I'm one of those that I don't like to stay stagnant. If I master something, I'm going to figure out how I can find another way to master something else. Because complacency is not a part of my well-being. And that's basically my biggest accomplishment.
All right, y'all see my new puppy? Say hey, Sandy. Hi, Sandy. Well, I appreciate you all for all the questions and inquiries. And I hope I was able to answer them to the best, for, you guys' liking. And until next time, Chiquita Nicole Sassy Fit is out. Ta-ta for now.